You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Hey everybody, this is Brandon and Travis. Doing something a little bit different this time. I'm not going into all that announcer stuff. I'm going straight into the content here on Interdimensional RSS, the unofficial recommendation. Shit, I did it. I did it.
You did it. Oh, hey everybody, I'm Travis.
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon. Here for a special bonus episode.
Bonus.
Ooh, we talked about it on the podcast proper. Now it's time to get the bonus episode to you proper. That's right, Travis. We have an interview with our friends Alex and Fred talking about some Rick and Morty comics.
That's right. Big Rick and Morty 100 coming out this week. We got to sit down with them for a little while, talk a little bit just about Rick and Morty comics in general, what new to expect with the Rick and Morty 100, and then some plans for the future as well. Don't want to spoil those, but yeah, if you like what you hear, definitely go check out the comics. And yeah, stay tuned for our interview with Alex and Fred.
Hey, welcome Fred, welcome Alex, welcome back to talk.
Hey, folks.
Hey, thank you.
Normally we do this, grandiose introduction, and all of the guests are like, "Whoa, hey, quit being so formal." But I don't want to put that pressure on you guys again.
You guys are friends now. You've been here multiple times.
Oh my goodness!
Built rapport. Yeah, it's just
You know us. You know our stuff.
yeah.
You did a bird person episode. And I'll always be thankful for that.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah.
But we're glad that you guys are giving us a little bit more time again to talk about the upcoming big announcement.
Oh.
It was a big announcement, and it is a big thing. The Rick and Morty 100th issue of the comics, combined issue, right? So
Yeah.
after all of the different the series, all the extra ones, all the Rick and Morty Presents, combining it all, the big
The big 100 issues, baby.
Yeah.
100 issues. Rick and Morty, as my good friend Rick would say.
It's been 7 years now of Oni Comics putting out Rick and Morty books. Doing big celebration issue 100 that celebrates not just the stuff to come, but the stuff that's come before. It's a lot of fun to work on this one.
Yeah, it's Fred and I did a framing device for a little bit of a who's who of some of the best miniseries from the past couple of years. We got, hey, I beg your asking, we got that James Asmus guy. Yeah, we got James Asmus. We got the infamous Ryan Ferrier. Yeah, we got Ryan Ferrier. What do you think we are? A bunch of doofy. Hey, we got that Sam Maggs. Yeah, we got Sam Maggs. We ain't fall off the tree here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. What I miss?
We got Sarah Stern, Jarrett Williams.
Oh yes.
Tony Fleeces. We got Andrew Dalhouse. We got Leonardo Ido, who was on our first one.
Yeah.
Jeremy Lawson on colors. We got Crank doing all the lettering. So it's a full house. It's a full house of creators.
Yeah, it's
a lot of people.
Little deck. Yeah, and while I'm here, just quick shout out to everyone who wrote an issue before me and drew an issue before me. Zach Gorman, C.J. Cannon, the Tess Fowler, I think. Oh God, if I fuck,
we're gonna forget a lot of people.
just everybody involved.
I gave a little name drop to Teenie Howard in the issue, one of my favorite comics writers. Crazy to think that she wrote Pocket Like You Stole It, the official Pocket Morty's comic. She's like Magdalene Vistaglio. She wrote some excellent comics for us. Yeah. Good stuff.
There have been so many folks that have worked on it, worked on the comics in some way, shape, or form over the years. And it's just, it's so cool having seen all the different styles of art, styles of writing. Is that something that we're gonna see? I mean, I've seen some of the variant covers. Right?
Yeah.
So is that kind of indicative of like the different types of art styles we're gonna see in issue 100?
I'm gonna say yeah. There's in the new thing we've put in the story in the short we've done, there's a definite juxtaposition of two very distinct styles that sort of mildly tie into some previous groundwork we've done before in the Rick's New Hat, sort of similar thematic ideas and stylistic concepts. So I don't want to say too much on that.
Sure.
But if you'll notice some similarities with what we're doing this issue and say issue 4 of Rick's New Hat.
Issue 4, Rick's. Look, it's the return of everyone's favorite. They've been banging down our door saying, when are you bringing back Real World Morty, the Rick and Morty super fan? Oh, when? And I say, shut up. I live alone. I'm like, Ditko, let me be.
I said I'll never do it. I'll never do it unless we get to 100 issues. And they got me.
Pay me a normal page rate for a licensed book. Then I'll bring them back.
They got me.
It was in the
They
contract.
got me with that page rate. Can't say none of that.
So are there talking about bringing back the greatest hits of some?
Oh my god! Right? Oh my god!
Can you talk about that without spoiling too much, because we want people to buy the book.
Buy the book. What do you mean greatest hits? Like what Rick's New Hats parts we're touching on?
Well, this is a celebration of
oh yes,
issues.
We got Katagami in there. We talked about Katagami. Who's Katagami? Oh my god! From issue 1, I love issue 1, the wonderful first issue of the Rick and Morty book. We got Professor Talk. We got Katagami as Morty tries to play the stock market, as Rick tries to prove to him that's an empty gesture. Morty buys himself a Katagami. Professor Talk tries to stop I try to include. I fit in. I have a big speech balloon where I try to go over the history of the comics. One of my favorites, and name drop Dick and Farty. One of my favorite Rick and Morty comics, the 90s style cool guy Rick and Morty Mad Magazine thing. I think Morty's a squirrel. The hemp juice, that was the big arc where Rick and Morty have to get the juices from a big porpoise. The pickup artist creation, the pickup artist alien who briefly dated Summer. I try to bring them all in.
Some deep cuts from 100 issues.
Some deep cuts, and yet they should not be deep cuts. They should be household names.
This is true, but unfortunately, a lot of the people that listen to this podcast may not be as familiar with all of the comics or 100 comics. Is there anything? How could we entice some people to hit their local comic book shop this week? And if they missed the first 99, but now with 100, what should casual fans of the show expect out of the comic version of Rick and Morty?
I think that's one of the nice things about issue 100 is it's actually a really good jumping on point for a lot of people. Like we said, we're doing sort of a story where we're drawing from other people's stories, but it's also weaving sort of in and out through that in our story. And you get sort of a really good glimpse at the wide variety of comics that have been put out by Rick and Morty. So there's sample, not quite sample, but little chunks of story that you see and we've put in from older issues and other creative teams, like we said. So you really get a large collection of here's other stuff. Here's more you can look at. It says at the beginning of the book, this is from this one. This is from this one. Yeah. Basically, if any of those are to your liking, check those out. But the whole thing is fairly standalone. I think there's stuff that we allude to and hint at, but you are not going to miss out on anything if you haven't read Rick's New Hat or Corporate Assets or any of that. It's very we try to keep it. So what's that thing? I want to attribute it to Stan Lee, but it might be someone else. The saying that every comic is somebody's first. Oh, too late.
It is Stan Lee, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Stan. Yeah.
Stan the man.
And we're trying to stick to that sort of ethos where it's like anybody could jump on with any issue at any time, even stuff that has an arc. It's like, look, you'll be able to catch up quick Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Here's the thing: as much plot as there is in Rick and Morty, it's like Bugs and Daffy, it's like Laurel and Hardy, it's like the Marx Brothers. You're there to watch two characters whose personalities are so well written, so well created. Roiland's voice is so well done. Their chemistry is great. That like the plot, you tune in the middle of a movie, like, oh, so how did Groucho get in this wealthy dowager's home? It doesn't matter. Just pick up any issue. And in fact, like the way I write my series is, you can pick up any issue and you'll get your laughs. Rick and Morty ain't changing too much. So hey, if you're listening to this, just go to a comic book store, buy Rick's New Hat. When you finish buying Rick's New Hat, by Rick and Morty Presents Volume 3 and 4, and when you're finished buying my books, just flip through any of them, and if it looks funny to you, you'll probably like it. You'll like these characters. We do a good, like, the comics are good. I think they're if you like the show, you will like the books. We all do a good job. These are some names in comics who have done incredible work. Ryan Ferrier wrote Dave, D4VE. Teeny Howard is a big shot X-Men writer now, And so if you like Rick and Morty and you want to see them done in this new format, you're gonna like, what are you doing, huh? What are you doing with your life? You're in a Rick and Morty podcast, can't pick up a book? Jesus Christ.
And we've said it before, because the show is known for rather long hiatuses. We have a mid-season hiatus right now. But for fans that miss the show or miss getting those weekly episodes, the comics are a great way to keep that Rick and Morty energy going and continue to get new stories and new, versions of the characters without having to wait for Adult Swim to release a new episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also don't want to necessarily show for a certain big corporation, but you can find all of these on Comixology and other digital platforms where you buy your comics. There a lot of them are available on there very easily. If you're like, I'm missing this, I'm missing that, it's not hard to find these.
They're all available for Comixology Unlimited. If you want to do a deep dive, just pay your $8, go to Comixology Unlimited.
Use the code.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a what do you call that? Affiliate code? No, we're yes, if you have Comixology, go do that. I maybe seen an issue or two over there, but I'm gonna plug,
please.
I'm gonna plug for your local comic shop. If you have a comic shop nearby, head in there, get the books from them. Start a subscription. Just add it to your pull list.
Go in there and say, "Hey, bastards, get this comic."
Yeah.
Now, put your foot down.
Honestly, that is the best thing you can do to help the book, is just go to your local comic book store and tell them you want to get it. That's what helps us the most.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't see those Comixology numbers. I don't know who's reading what.
That's
yeah,
true.
exactly.
It's like the Netflix numbers. It's a secret. It's a secret only given to a distinct few, locked in a vault somewhere on a secret computer.
I don't let Fred and I look at that shit.
So
you don't deserve it.
Yeah, I do want to say, just going back real quick, referencing all, because I was almost like thinking of, like, there's so much stuff. I think it's a really cool thing to include this kind of almost like internal bibliography for the references for folks to go back and be like, I really pocket like you stole it. What's that about?
Oh, I love that series.
Or like Little Poopy Superstar or things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot in this one that I think people are really gonna enjoy.
Do you guys have across 100 now issues? Do you guys have a favorite issue or storyline, maybe one that you didn't participate in working on, that sticks out to you for fans of the comic?
You want to go first, Fred? I'm thinking of one.
Yeah. Putting all the effort on me. I'm gonna say right now, for me, and see, this is handy because Alex can't say this one, but I can. It's the Mr. Nimbus special. It's my favorite. I mean it though, but the writing, Ryan Lee's art, everything about it is like, And it's Mr. Nimbus. It's more Mr. Nimbus. You love Mr. Nimbus.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Mr. I think
Controls the
Ryan is
police.
brilliant. He does
Yeah,
control the
yeah.
police. I'm gonna do it's gonna be a three-way tie.
Go
Because
for it.
I've decided not to choose. I mean, they're all very good. Like the miniseries are some of my favorites. When I got the job writing Rick and Morty, reading Rick and Morty Presents Mr. Meeseeks was a big show of what it can do. It's about two Meeseekses trying to find purpose in their life so they can die. And I thought that was like just a very, because when I got it, I'm like, geez, what can you do with some of these small characters? These are like, you're asking me to write like Disco Stew. Like, what's the inner life of Disco Stew? Then you write Mr. Meeseeks. I'm like, oh, you Grant Morrison it. You look at like what's appealing about this character and expand on that on a wide existential scale. I'm going to, yeah, that comic is great. I don't want to get the names wrong, so let me quickly look at who created so I can credit everyone. The other one, I do remember the creators because it's more recent. Deathstalkers by Ryan Lee and Stephanie Phillips. I thought that was excellent. I think Ryan Lee is an amazing artist. I'm like, he's the guy they let get away from the house style the hardest, and it looks like Basil Wolvert. Yeah.
Oh, he kills on it though. It's so good. It's the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Stephanie Phillips is excellent. She wrote a beautiful story, but it is just like, it's like reading Bill Sienkiewicz, back in the day. It's like, I can't believe something this gruesome and lumpy can exist in a universe that's usually so smooth and good. And the other one is indeed Pocket Like You Stole It. Deanie Howard is very good. There is no question she's very good. I am a big old Pokemon fan. She wrote the saddest version of Pokemon imaginable. The fact that it's Rick and Morty on top of it is just a bonus if you like those guys, which I do. Yeah, those are my three faves. I'm gonna look up the artists for all of this. I just want to make sure I credit them well. Yeah, James Assman, Jim Piston with oh no, it's not here. I think CJ Cannon drawing was the Mr. Meeseeks present, and Pocket Like You Stole. This is boring. You keep going.
I do think, but like you were saying, I think one of the interesting things on the Meeseeks, and we probably talked about this on the podcast before, but I don't care, is that having, when we got to do stuff like Bird Person or not as much Rick's New Hat, but some of the characters in Rick's New Hat, it's very fun to play with characters, smaller characters in a large established world, and sort of flesh them out more. Because there's a lot, I mean, Rick and Morty has characters every week. They just show up and they're gone,
Right.
And you go, oh, what's their story? I want to know more about, this or that or whatever. And I think that's always very exciting and fun to play with when because there's no rules for those characters yet. There's nothing yet. It's great.
Well, yeah. Well, there's also, by the way, Mark Ellerby drew Pocket Like He Stole It. Great Rick and Morty artist, one of the core guys. He's incredible. But yeah, and a big part of, by the way, writing the presents is because I wrote Nimbus, I wrote Bird Person, I also brainstormed. I'm like, there are a lot of pitches that I have to think through, get through. I did also Mr. Poopy Butthole in Rick's New Hat, but a lot of it is like, the show has such a core philosophy and point of view, but how does a character who is not Rick or Morty or Jerry, how do they rely on this Rick's like nihilist survival of the fittest kind of philosophy? How does a warrior like Bird Person, a protector, a dumb smiley idiot like Poopy Butthole, or a sexually confident person like Nimbus? Because I think Rick can be a little insecure deep down, and that's what kind of drives this kind of life needs a winner philosophy. So that's kind of very exciting to do.
As an aside, like a long time ago when we were in season 3, long hiatuses, we're just trying to build content. We were just making segments up. And so one of the things we did was called Blood Dome Battle League. Just like, picking characters, fighting against other characters, and seeing, like our theoretical what would happen. And it was just a fun thought exercise of like getting to the core of like, okay, what does this character do? Like, what is its power level? It's like classic, like As Batman versus
Ooh.
Spider-Man, well, Batman can use his gadgets if he can prepare. Then yeah, you know that. So I think that's a really fun thing when you're kind of brainstorming, kind of trying to think about like, okay, where do I want to take these characters, or which characters do I want to explore? Is there, you know, do you just put them in a shoebox with sticky notes and just like pick around randomly, or does or do you have this already kind of in your head of the characters that you want to explore?
Huh. I don't know. I have no idea. I just think about the world of the show. I think about how my energy is feeling. I think about who fits into a specific story. And like the relaunch, which I know it's been announced on Amazon, whatever. But it's going to be a lot of Golden Fold stuff. He's one of my favorite characters. I think he's the funniest characters. For Nimbus, originally I had like a Cosmic Morty narrating everything. I told this plot to a friend. He told me to use Jessica since she became a Time Lord, and it's kind of about who fits, who fights in this kind of scenario. And again, I like a lot of it is my biggest influence as anyone who works in comics probably is like the Marvel DC universe, where just like, oh my God, it's like the side character. What's the dumbest little side character who got big?
Booster Gold.
God, Booster Gold. It's Booster Gold. It's Booster Gold. What's Booster Gold? And I just read yesterday the brilliant Tom King. He kind of excels in this universe. Like the smallest side character in a Marvel DC book has a core philosophy that, if applied well, could someday franchise a multi-million-dollar blockbuster empire. As you know, the Eternals are getting a sequel. You know, all these characters have like a big, strong point of view, and you have to kind of apply it. I don't know. I just think of who I like in the moment, and we go from there.
I'm just waiting for that Four Bushman movie.
Oh, I would love Four Bushman.
We'll get there.
Sounds
We'll get
like,
there.
We'll get there. We probably will. Just scraping bottom of the barrel, Marvel, unless you hire me, in which case you both will get an email about deleting this part. But otherwise, I can say it's fucking Moon Knight. Fucking Moon Knight. I just found out who Moon Knight is like a year ago. Yeah?
I mean, we got Leapfrog.
Oh yeah.
We did get Leapfrog.
I don't think that's a spoiler. I think we can all Leapfrog.
Nah, that's
in
out
something.
on socials. That's
Look,
been out now. Yeah.
If you can have a Marvel thing spoiled for you, buddy, you dumb as shit. An obscure character appeared. Oh, all right.
I really liked in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. It's like the
I love that movie.
It was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, like challengers at the
Great.
unknown. Right.
I love challenge. That's those are important characters. That's Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four, pre-Fantastic Four. But they're very boring otherwise. So very good deep cut from Titans. I'll talk about comics forever.
Well, we got our plan for Zoom is still for another month, so we got
There you go.
We got time.
This conversation's gonna go on for a month.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't set an end time.
No.
So.
No. Oh, okay. You know what? I better grab some chips.
Ooh, he's gonna eat chips.
Well, I'm
gonna eat chips on Mike.
Crunch.
You mentioned Alex. You know, because we brought it up ahead of time, it was totally us as our journalistic, you know, sleuthing shows. You go to Amazon.com/Rick and Morty new #1. It shows there that you and Fred are
that the URL?
It's something like that. Yeah, 100 years www.rickandmortycomics.
And then make sure that it leads there. But yeah, like that's super cool that you guys came in, you started on the comics, and now you are essentially get to reboot it. I don't know if it's a reboot. I don't know what you want to call it. I guess
it's just a renumbering. They never stop publishing them. They've been doing it 7 years. It's just a new story, new start, good time had, and people love a big fat #1 on their covers, and they love the number 100.
They sure do. But yeah,
what if we just do a series? Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna. What if we just did a series of number ones?
No, just of round numbers. Number
Uh,
one, the number 100, number 200, number 300, number 250, or whatever.
Mhm,
Every issue of
mhm.
collector's
Hi-
item.
highly collectible.
Mhm.
Exactly.
We just put a really, really small decimal that you can barely see
Oh,
between
yeah.
each of the. So it's like, oh yeah, issue one. Oh, it's just
Wait, do you remember when Marvel did that?
yes.
You can buy like
I
issue like
do.
3.5.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so fucking stupid.
yeah. It was very confusing. But yeah, we're doing the ongoing series coming up 2023.
Yeah,
2023.
baby.
It's very
in the
exciting.
back of the yeah.
It's in the back of
good.
the it's the back of issue 100. We announce it.
Yeah. So
Um,
when you release this, it won't be that big a spoiler that this is
Mm.
happening.
I'm pretty sure the news is gonna hit before this is out.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. But it's gonna be really good. It's
Mm.
really exciting stuff. I know Alex, you wanted to say something about the story. I'm excited. I'm just gonna talk about issue 100 for a minute because we get
Go ahead.
to tease a little bit of it. The end of issue 100, just a little bit of the golden fold stuff like you're talking about. A little bit of a character called Platinum Fold. A little bit of
Oh yeah.
a couple other things. You know, we'll.
Platinum fold from Rick's new hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it appeared in issue 2. Sorry, go on. No one interrupt.
Oh no, that's about it. I cede the floor to you.
Oh, nah. Fred and I are expanding on the ideas we brought into Rick's new hat. The main idea of Rick's new hat is Fred and I are going to do a bunch of dumb comics. So that's the main idea behind. No, the reboot I'm exploring the idea between genius and normalcy. Just Rick sees himself as a genius. There's no really objective way to put it outside of the rules of the cartoon. But then we have Goldenfold, who is kind of the reflection of Rick if he wasn't brilliant. He'd be out there teaching some Morty lookalike in some sad high school class. And, you know, I love Goldenfold. Anytime he appears in the show, it's just an incredibly just funny character. The voice, the way he's like basically shouting everything he's saying. I think he's so funny. He was, whenever he's used, just the best. So now that I have the little keys to the kingdom for a second, let's bring my favorite boy in. Little Golden. I don't want to spoil anything than that. Before the episode spoke, a big game. I'm going to spoil everything. Nah, decided not to. Decided not to in the moment. Spend your money. Dirtbags.
Yeah.
Piece of
Pre-order
shit.
the book at your local comic shop.
Yeah, at your local comic shop
Let's do it.
or
Yeah, mostly there.
Even if it's not your local comic shop, if you have moved someplace and you're like,
If you're out of
"Wow,
town,
I lived in Florida, but now I'm in LA, but I still like my Florida comic shop." Tell them to
Look.
order it.
Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, maybe a Walmart if you ask them hard enough. Each of them. No, I'm being annoying.
Books a million.
Books a million. What's that? I don't know.
Golden Books.
Go to BT Dalton.
Oh.
BT Dalton's gonna have a copy. No,
Go to BT Dalton, see if they have anything left on the shelves.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find
yeah.
something.
Local comic book store. Just pre-order it ahead of time. You know, listen to this podcast. Just go in, ask to order Rick and Morty #1. It's the best thing you can do because it lets comic book stores know there's an audience for these things. And I think there is going to be a big, nice audience for Rick and Morty #1. So I'm excited. I don't care what else you do. Just do that. Cool.
All right. Well, okay. So here's the last thing we'll do. We're gonna offer the floor to you gents. Last thoughts, last things you want to leave.
Anything else you're working on, or cool things you want to plug or shout out for
What are you
people
gonna
to
have for
keep their
lunch
eyes on?
later? You know, anything.
I want to plug Fred's books.
Huh?
What's that book about the bear?
Okay. So I've worked on. You can find some of my work on Swimmy and the Valley of the Last Song, available online at z2comics.com, and also your Amazons and your Books a Millions and all that stuff. Also upcoming, a book I worked on, Amelia Earwood, Basic Witch. which I drew a chunk of with a bunch of other great artists. And that's going to be coming out, I think, later this month. I want to say later this month. I don't have it in front of me, but you can find that at all the usual places. And I think, other than the upcoming Rick and Morty, that's all I can talk about right now.
Very cool.
But yeah. Oh, and follow me on Twitter at Fred C. Stresing, and you will find me talking about horror movies right now and a bunch of other nonsense that doesn't matter, and occasionally comics.
That sounds like Brandon's Twitter account, actually. So
Yeah, the change.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Changeling's great. It's really good.
Man, I got nothing to plug. I ain't doing shit except this. Hey, go read the McSweeney's thing I wrote with my girlfriend Annie. Oh, I'm gonna plug my girlfriend's comics. By Rick and Morty, Big Dumb Summer Vacation by Annie Griggs, and Agretsuko Meter World, but also by Annie Griggs. I think you'll like it. And buy Rick's new hat. Oh, who am I buy and shaking these people by their ankles? Please spend money. I don't give a fuck. Read Bone by Jeff Smith. It's really good. You read that Bone? Read Bone by Jeff Smith. You read that Mouse by Art Spiegelman. I'm just gonna plug the most famous comics. You read. You heard
of this Charles Schultz guy?
Oh yeah, read Peanuts. Peanuts is really good.
Actually, read the old ones. They are great.
Yeah. Fred and I referenced that first. Well, Fred did. He referenced that first comic twice. I wrote it in the Bird Person, then he put it on the Rick and Morty number 100 cover.
Love that one. Love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Here comes Charlie
That's a
Brown.
great comic.
I saw that tweet with that little image. So, because I stalk you guys.
Oh.
Well, follow us on Twitter. Annie just texted me the word Sandman. Hey, everyone, read Sandman. Annie wants to make sure I plug the Sandman. Read the Sandman by Neil Gaiman. But most importantly, read Rick and Morty Big Dumb Summer Vacation by Annie Griggs. Rick and Morty Big Dumb Summer Vacation.
And hopefully they turn all of these into live action series eventually. All of them.
Oh, they fucking better. And I better not get a penny. I am on record. If I get paid for the pillaging of my work by Big IP, I will be so angry.
Well, you heard it. We've got it recorded. So,
yeah.
well, Alex, Fred, thank you.
That.
Alex is like, yeah, send me a check.
And hey, don't give Fred a penny.
No,
don't give Fred a penny.
I like pennies.
Want to see, give him a penny, but I want to see a very sad news story about both of us just fucking living that Steve Ditko life under a billboard of fucking Elliot Poop from Rick's New Hat, voiced by Timothy Chalamet, and we're just eating our sad microwave 99-cent meals, going, "Oh, I made them."
And Fred just glaring at you the entire time, like
because I said on the podcast.
Yeah. As we all know, podcast is law. So
yeah, legally binding.
Yeah.
RSS.
I wish they hadn't passed that bill.
Yeah.
No, they say Congress doesn't do anything, but I mean, obviously they did.
But they did this.
Yep.
Fuck over cartoonist sack, baby. All right.
Well, thank you guys. Congratulations on the 100 issue as well as the relaunch, the new number 1. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we're excited to see these books.
Yeah, no, thanks for
They're
having
gonna be
us.
good. You do a good show, and I want to thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you again.
Boom, there it is.
What an guys. Those guys.
Easy interview. It's so laid back. It's so cool. It's so crisp and clean. It's like crystal light. But no,
yeah, it's refreshing. But you can't always identify the flavor, right? It's
that's right. That's right. And it comes in powder form, which is, I guess, is that like
know. This is going off the rails. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed that interview. Once again, run, don't walk to your local comic shop or wherever you get your comics, and check out the Rick and Morty 100th issue. Buy all of the special covers and all of the exclusive content, and then, hit up your comic shop and start subscribing for those new Rick and Morty number 1s coming very soon.
You got it, Travis. I'm listening to you, and I'm going to do that right now. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and make sure you go follow Alex and Fred over there on Twitter. But
Bye,
we're gone.
everybody. Bye.
We're gone now.
Yeah. 100 years, 100 comics. Rick and Morty.
Oh my God, 100 comics.
Comics.com. Still wearing a hat.